What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of Vince Clarke's 2009 Deeptronica project. Thank you again to Mr. Solo for sharing this incredible album, which, despite my love for very early Depeche Mode, my enjoyment of Yazoo, my appreciation for Erasure, is perhaps my favorite of all the music I've ever heard Vince make. I suppose that is because of my disposition towards Sybient and downtempo and space-style ambient, which is very much the terrain of this album. But truly, this has been an incredible experience, and I thank you to Mr. Solo for bringing it to my attention and making it available. And the next tune in the playlist is Out of the Box, which, if this were an album with lyrics, I would maybe say that it makes me think this could be something unusual, something that breaks out of normal conventions and forges its own path off the beaten path. Nevertheless, there aren't vocals, certainly not like traditional vocals. I'm trying to remember if there were any vocal samples. I don't think that's the case either. So yeah, this has been an album without vocals and lyrics. So I don't expect a definitive answer, but I wouldn't be terribly surprised if this tune has a slightly different character to a number of tracks that have come previously. Let's give it a listen. This is Deeptronica. The track is Out of the Box, and it's from the Deeptronica album 2009. So, number one, there were lyrics, or not lyrics, vocals rather. So yeah, that feels already a bit different from a lot of what we've heard. And indeed, I would say overall, it did go in a different direction. This felt less Sybient mix from the 2010s and more soundtrack to sci-fi movie, and even one that's a bit like throwback. And I was actually thinking of two things. I was very much in like a visual framework mentally when I was listening to that. It first reminded me of like an old like 50s or 60s sci-fi movie when the flying saucer lands on Earth and the drawbridge style door opens, and usually with like flooding bright white light, and we just sort of see the silhouette or the sort of hazy figure of aliens with big heads and those bulbous eye is walking down the ramp and being very mysterious and maybe quasi-threatening because we don't know who they are, where they came from, or what they want. But as the track went along, I was actually seeing it more as like humans visiting some alien planet where there's a sense that this planet, this society, this civilization we're seeing is very, very old, very, very advanced, and very, very alien, very extraterrestrial in terms of being beyond anything that we can comprehend, and, with technology that's so far either advanced and or different from ours that we don't even know kind of what we're looking at. So it felt very alien, not just in terms of extraterrestrials, but alien in terms of exotic, something unlike anything we know. So yeah, again, this one did feel a bit out of the box in terms of having a different sound than a lot of other tracks so far, which have had more of that, again, down-tempo, driving, flying past planets and stars type of feel to it. And yeah, this one had these like big, mysterious sort of chords. It had those choral vocals, which gave it this sense of importance, significance, like, sort of big and epic, even as it's very unusual and exotic. And then there were, what was it? There was another element melodically that in the moment I'm forgetting. I think it was just sort of like a more like mysterious kind of keyboard element. Nevertheless, yeah, it definitely had a bit of an out-of-the-box feel. And I guess like even on my first visual that I had, the idea of the aliens coming out of their ship, it may fit with that too. So again, instrumental tracks you can interpret to your brain's desire, but those are the images and the feelings and the concepts that came to my mind when I heard that. And I feel like it is well named, even if we can debate the semantics or connotations of the title for an instrumental tune. And indeed, we finally had vocals. So yeah, very interesting one. I think there's only a few left. Let me look. In the moment, I want to say there's like 2 or 3 left, so we're getting close to the end of this. Okay, there's 3 left, yeah. Immune Syndrome, Time Squared, and Frame of Mind. I was very much in a frame of mind in this one. That's interesting. So, yeah, ultimately, only a few to go, but absolutely, I've loved this journey. Shout out to Vince, shout out to Mr. Solo, shout out to the alien Luca. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.